He used to work with my parents at the university. And can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one, but talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things, and probably put your fears to rest since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
Ash might be right too. However, what Zach suggested is something I'm more familiar with. Granted, they don't believe me. They're only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease, but it's better than being ignored or laughed at. I can take comfort in knowing they're at least willing to hear me out.
What do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
I kind of want to meet with the professor, to be honest. Plus, I don't think it would be too good if we do sell this house and then we decide after the house is sold, oh, we found the priest knocking on the door. Hi, I'm your real estate agent. By the way, you don't mind if I just bring this priest in to perform a blessing of the house because there's some unnatural ghoul inhabiting in this, which is probably going to try and kill you. I should have probably mentioned that before you bought the place. Sorry.
I'll think about it, but if ever, I'd like to give talking to Andrew a try.
Ashton's has gone up again.
Is that okay? Won't he have other things to do?
He is a bit busy, but he'll make time for me. He's my go-to person when I'm stuck in something. He won't mind if I bring a friend with me this time.
If you're sure.
I guess that settles it then.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep insisting that we still watch it. You're not even paying attention yourselves.
Ooh, she's angry.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this. The least we could do is watch it with you.
And that's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
I throw her an apologetic look, even if Ash is the only one she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. Stop ignoring us. She's ignoring us again. When Becca is acting this way, there's a big chance something's nagging at her. We really need to talk. We all fall into a comfortable silence after, the kind you only share with people you're most at ease with. For the first time today, the letter lays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours. It's night time. And that's slightly creepy music. Night is fallen by the time we exit the movie house. Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling full of people, those about to head home, those who are set to meet someone, and even those simply wandering about. Walking in this sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in the city as nondescript as Luxborn. I was afraid too, at one point, back when I was new and I had just set foot in this place. Now, with familiar faces walking with me, it feels like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I cross over the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the day ends, and Ash, who knows, he never tells. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zach a lot, much to the latter's frustration. But he's a busy guy too, in spite of his laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
No problem, Zach. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Huh?
Where is she? Sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning, my chest tightening, breathing becoming labored. I can taste my blood in my mouth, the edge of my vision blurs. In the distance, amidst the countless nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Pleading, even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering. Calling out.
No, not me.
And if my memory serves me right, anytime we look at this person, it's never just a nice little slow, it's generally a jump scare, so prepare your butts. Somebody.
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
Oh, maybe not. At a voice, the whole world suddenly snaps back into place. The murmur's gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just, okay. Sorry.
I'd still keep your butt
out.
cheeks clenched, though.
You always do that.
Although without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance far end of the street, where the voice came from, where another set of eyes might be staring at me. Nothing. There's only Zach and Ashway watching over us as we head back to where Becca had parked her car. I'm expecting to see something or someone there. I'll try not to let it show. Try not to think of any tiny pinpricks of fear crawling in the pit of my
See you
stomach.
guys some other time.
Yeah. See ya.
Another glance, and with a final wave, we go on our ways. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I heard. I don't want to know. If this is what would help me sleep tonight, what would give me back some normalcy in my life, then so be it. Okay then. The darkness closes around me, grasping, pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in without warning. I'm falling. My eyes snap open. I guess she isn't going to appear. So it seems that they're able to throw in the mysterious creature's voice and everything. That's a good point then. I wonder if she's actually able to be seen outside of the mansion. Maybe she can project a voice, but we didn't actually see her at the end of the street where the voice was coming from, so maybe she's still in the mansion. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders ache after I've fallen asleep already hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. This place is a mess. Noodle cups everywhere, stack of shite, clothes, underwear on the floor, some breaking news, pictures of the gang. I'm assuming that's probably her family there. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but more pleasant. Kind of tell my siblings about. If you can reach in and take it, you're welcome to take. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone. The knowledge that I'll always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to.
What time is it?
It's 5 o'clock. Habit forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavy on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave bed for the day. In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Man. Of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Towel? Where's my towel?
I don't know, probably in the mess of your apartment. Admittedly, it's weekend and there's an unspoken rule that entitles to a few hours of extra sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened. Oh lord, one box of donuts as a peace offering won't be enough. The second time around, grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. There's a moment of indecision at first. She didn't charge her phone, she just left it in a bag? Careless. My mind conflicted whether I should just ignore or answer it, but what if it's Rose? Or worse, our boss. Ah, sheesh, in the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out while I pull the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood. And it takes every force of will for me to ignore in favour of answering the call. The ID reads, Mama.
Huh?
Around 4:45 PM in the Philippines right now.
An unusual time for them to call.
Usually it's around noon here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something other than using it for an international call. Regardless, the most cheerful tone I can gather.
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Mama! I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
We're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
There's a tired lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there's something I can do for her. But from miles away like this, the least I'm able to do is not make her worry. One of my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows that'll never happen. Odds are Kia Jordan's... Okay, that's my name. Again, I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and, well... 8 Anne's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having run herself knee-deep in debt.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
One hell
They're
of a
doing
family.
well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
The subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach. From the way Mama's voice hitches, she doesn't want to bring it up either.
Papa. Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds. But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well. The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, I see. That's good.
That's why she's in real estate, and why she's gunning for this bonus so hard. Something to do with the dad. I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. Ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 5 years ago, he's been unable to provide for us. Now the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders. Although Mama makes little, except in sewing and laundry jobs in our neighbourhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the costs of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't expect help from our own government because the health insurance there barely covers anything.
I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I start to think that the call got cut out until...
Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know about that. Sorry, Mama. You taught me not to lie, yet look at what I'm doing.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition, too.
Jesus Christ, how much money are you making?
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Ah. When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the only person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't even have a definite answer to? 5 years later and I still can't give them a straight one. Smile though. Mama can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
There's a small commotion on the other end. It sounds like the gate's opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly about his day at school, the tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. Been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? The neighborhood kids bullying him now because I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath, shake away the thoughts beginning to swim inside my head. Pointless to mull over these things right now.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to say
Mama?
something.
Did you forget anything?
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry!
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god, oh god! I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then.
There's a telltale din of several feet shuffling against wooden floors and an indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting, but it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone, finish my shower in record time. I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A fee if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamour, common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxbourne office, greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at various volumes, staff moving about, and...
Where the hell is C? Where are my employees? What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice!
My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is, half their workload has been shifted to all available staff as not to lose the clients. Not that I mind the extra work, if anything, that means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumours of the branch closure circulating because of this indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of the table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork into my hands without explanation. Page flutters away from the top of the pile and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning over the top of the page as I straighten. Purchase and sale agreement? Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor's lounge. When I tilt my head in question, there, seating on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants this sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed yet. Documents still need to be signed still, but the elation is still there, along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once.
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible.
Jesus Christ!
I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Only have better things to spend money on. I'd haggle down to the lowest possible price if I was in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just the agents who are going to receive a hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them, an unspoken instruction for me to follow her after I'm done. It doesn't take long to finish the work she left me. In fact, having our boss sign the agreement is easier since it has put him in a better mood It has put him in a better mood, to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over for a moment. She notices my presence at the lounge door. She welcomes me with a She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one would typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel! How are you feeling?
Extreme
You
bobs.
looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Oh, thank you for giving me the compliment of looking awfully dreadful yesterday.
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them a copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for, and the process contracts like these undergo. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I hadn't pegged her for someone who was well versed in these things. Yet, here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest, as if he's more happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it's purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they're buying, or simply finds paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then?
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am?
Come on, Isabella.
We could
Just
easily find
accept
you
it.
a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there."
Of course. Why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Oh, the troubles of the rich.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan, after all. You know how much thought to be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
See? That pose gets me every time. It's just like, you don't need to do that. There's already enough there. You don't need to...
Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something into both our hands and winks, and finger raises to her lips, demanding our
I
silence.
know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion. Did I mention we reward our people generously?
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us.
Because we have so much money and you're so poor.
Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
These things are still very unsettling. He smiles sweetly, like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact of no lengthy negotiations, no sudden changes of mind. Just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part, a second ago, we sold a haunted property to two innocent clients. Sure, the commission's big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization. Big enough to pay for all four of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for a month. I don't even have to go back to the I don't have to go back to the mansion as well. Once the deal has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there and we gave it to a good couple despite that. Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell him the next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Yeah, it's definitely memorable for me, but not because it's multi-million, it's because there's a fucking skinless woman in that house. Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too. Aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
He slings an arm over my shoulder and leans closer to my ear as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Not really, you just sold a multi-million-pound haunted mansion.
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from a playful to professional in the span of a few
Today?
seconds.
Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. Saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story that could have been years ago, wide-eyed, young and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions. She was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of curiosity, I never pressed it on the matter further. But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. Small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by, the circumstances we were in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away.
He was at the mansion. He's
I
dead.
doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that.
He's
There
dead.
must be another reason.
The ghost, the
Who
ghoul,
knows?
got him. He's dead. Dead.
Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping did allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one considers taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too? In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again, right here today, gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We have agreed to meet at the nearby cafe, the same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time. Jesus Christ, she's literally keeping no money for herself at all. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same, much like its facade. The interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces and a row of shelves boasting an expensive collection of books cover the walls. It would be nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's a distance, kind of the kind born purely out of differing interests. That or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. Not impossible. I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest of our group, but he knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I'm a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. Let's order food first, okay?
The waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausage, or potatoes in it. But today's a good day. Great, even. Not wrong to indulge a little bit, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting down the order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it nevertheless and leaves without a comment. Becca furrows her eyebrows and mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry, it's my treat.
I like that the sign is wobbling as well. The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago. Naturally, I did it again after she made me apologize I never did it again after she made me apologize, but Becca's far from being my mum. Small, sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy, a pan-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side. That looks pretty fancy, or at least that's what the daily specials board says. I never did pay attention to it whenever I come in, say the price, whatever's written way above what I'm willing to spend on the food on a single day.
I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
Oh,
You're
really?
always hungry.
Hey, not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Maybe.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expectant grin breaks out my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow to me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Oh, bummer. Maybe I should rephrase it. My instant noodle days are over, or Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. Ooh. I reckon if I said Ash isn't here, so we should celebrate, we'll probably piss off Becca. But might make Zach laugh. Nah, my instant noodle days are over.
Okay, let me do that again. Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from a sheer bewilderment to utter surprise. That's more like
You
it.
heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I'm Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos and free from my instant noodle binge.
Fair name, that one.
Seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
That was a little bit creepy, but yep.
Which house is this? In Aslam Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
Check relationships. I've clawed a little bit back with Becca, but it's still not good.
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's...
She lets out a hum. Although she's nodding, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did you think we wouldn't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca. Am I not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
The words tumble out of my mouth before I could stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
Yep.
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something.
Yeah, I'm actually lying here. I didn't sell the house. I've just put myself into prostitution and it's giving me more money. Thanks, guys.
What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out?
I don't think they're frauds.
Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Oops.
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
They don't
Really,
seem
guys?
like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it more like. Well, I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'd only worry.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
Money!
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
You don't really think they'd believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle. Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I begin to gather the plates to my side, the food in each still untouched. I laugh, almost escapes my mouth with the way that Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pouty on me again. I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. Strange talking about this with other people, even those I've known even those who have known you long enough. But today, they simply feel a whole... Reading out loud has never been my strong point. Ever. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. A laugh here, playful jab there, but most of it is spent catching up on and telling stories about whatever's keeping us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in this sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of the party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. Becca notices...
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
Pained expression crosses Zach's face. Almost immediately, Becca retreats in her inquiry as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. We look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble upon a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her motions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it's always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although her explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
Boarheads, for a reference, is a Scottish term that basically means dickhead or like ballsack head sort of thing. From how her tone raises in anger, it seems like she's one slighted, not Zach. Snicker escapes me, which I promptly stamped on as soon as she sends me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Bowbag is basically the same thing, like scrotum. That literally is, the way it's phrased is ball bag, but it's spelled B-A-W. Ball bag is another word for your scrotum, though she's just called someone a scrotum.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
But yeah, it's the way Scottish vernacular works.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
That, I'm assuming, is I don't know about you two. Dinny is don't. Ken, I don't know whether that is supposed to be no. And but the way you pronounce that in Scottish is basically an I, so I dunno ken. I dunno know. I don't know about you two.
If you could call that a critique! Did we even watch the same film?
The perks of having Scottish friends.
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher would at an unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I didn't mean to yell, but there's some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He, of all people, should know.
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know, after all, I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I'm about to say gets lost on my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit.
Ugh.
What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
Good. There's no face at all. Only a poor imitation of puppy dog eyes, if you could call this
Promise.
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys. Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. One night ain't for another week.
one. And that's the answer I need from him. Sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you don't want to take the same path you've walked. Not like it's over for me, though. I still have time. I could still come back, do my own thing, do what I really want to do. Surely once Papa recovers, once I've done everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. Rose!
Hey, Isabel. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
He states that as if it's already, as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches a long rant about the awful state of Luxbourne streets, all of which she says in a single breath, and I can barely keep up and make out a single word. If I stay quiet, I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next subject of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
When she's finally run out of things to complain about and stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear. Just a quick, mumbled plea for me to meet the right interior designer in her stead, and...
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks.
Classic Rose, she ends the call without even asking for my input. Sky is cloudless, the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we leave the cafe. Far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood or make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Luxbourne remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and an inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd fills the humid afternoon air. Small reminder of the things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to Briar Realty for me, Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books at home. More than once, I catch her sneaking longing glances over at something displayed in a shop window. You want to buy something? Maybe I can get it for her this Christmas. Then I head to the last shop she checked out. Fleeting glimpse. The world stills. She's no longer in she's no longer in the mansion. She's looking at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing, and boring into my very soul, like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea. A hum, low and indistinct, compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me into the void beyond the glass. Help me. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy, while my own breathing strains in the face of her calls.
Leave me alone.
Her mouth is stretched in a grin wide and unpleasant. The panic building up in my chest forces me to take a tentative step back. I try not to stare as the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from her gaping wounds on her arms and all her nailless fingers. That's so creepy! I don't want this. Not like this. Not after I got what I want for Papa.
Oh no, stop. Leave me alone.
Her face contorts and she lets out a wail, sharp and utteringly unforgiving. Rage? There is only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please! I don't want this!
Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat hoarse from the screams I didn't even notice or were already coming from my mouth. The back of my feet catches on a loose stone, sending me sprawling onto the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze, blurring my mind. For a little while, my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision. A look of concern on her face and her hands gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself with worry, while standing behind her, acting like a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. He's gone. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, my weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home in the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up anything to get that wretched sensation out.
You are screaming! Zach, call someone!
No, don't. I'm good. I'm good. I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
I attempt a smile to put her at ease, but it likely comes off as a grimace. Gently, I push her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. Away. The humidity's stifling, everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I don't want to be here. No more. I break into a run. I wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. Here, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. Even with the clutter to keep me company, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. I hug my knees close as a group passes by outside, loud, so loud. If only there was a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait, as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling scream, her pleas for... Enough! That's enough! Shiver passes over me. No, it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters my room from the windows I've left wide open. My gaze shifts over to the letter sitting on the coffee table, and its edges flutter innocuously as the wind touches it. This is the letter, and you'll see, send this to 5 people or else. We've effectively shown it to 5 people, we've shown it to more than 5 people, and she still appeared in that shop window. This bitch is cheating. Funny how an ordinary looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or rip it into pieces is still there. I can easily do it, but after what? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that you actually have to give it to other people. But there's also a possibility that this is something lost in translation. There's been a few moments where certain phrases and certain words seem to be those of something which is lost within translation. This uncertainty gnaws at me, knowing that she's real and might also go after the people I care about. I just wish someone would listen. Believe me. The abrupt break in silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fish out my phone from under the mess of papers and cushions where I've carelessly thrown it before taking a shower hours ago. Ash's name flashes brightly on the screen. Notice the subtle music change to something more akin of something more pleasant in her mind. Is he calling because of this afternoon?
Thank you so much for spamming my inbox, scaredy cat.
Hey, Ash.
It's what my room used to look like back when I was single and not living with the missus, so...
What's wrong?
I just had a long day. The couple who bought the house wanted us to finish processing the papers within the week. It's a little hectic, but we'll manage.
Really? You sold it?
Don't sound so surprised. I told you, you don't stand a chance. The rights won't take no for an answer. You've been on the losing end from the very start. Ha!
Whoever said I was interested in the house in the first place?
But you said...
Despite his light tone, his snicker only comes off as annoying to my ears. I have to fight the urge to end the call right there and then. Stupid
You're
Ash.
such an ass. And just so you know, I'm not treating you to a separate celebration. Or ever.
No, that's just unfair. And here I was looking something up for you. Didn't you say you wanted to talk to Andrew?
I pause. I did say that, but I didn't think he'd actually go through with the trouble considering how much he scoffed at the whole topic in the first place.
Is he okay with that?
Totally. Besides, I need to ask him about something. I might as well do it soon. What do you say you come with me tomorrow morning?
Well, there's no harm in it, I suppose. I've got a free day anyway.
Great, I'll just pick you up. Don't oversleep.
Don't compare me to you. I'm not the one who sleeps like a rock.
Another round of chuckles come from him. Oh, I will live for the day he stops making fun of me. Just wait, you ashhole. As I'm about to end the call, he clears his throat.
And, Isabella?
Sudden... Like, what's that diffident? That's gotta be different. His sudden different tone sends my eyebrow shooting up into my hairline. The world ending today?
Yeah? Did you forget something?
Do you think we...
See, if that's not a tell that he's got feelings for this girl, I don't know what is.
Never mind. Good night.
He hangs up instantly. Rude. Completely rude. I didn't even get to thank him. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work, even I am doubtful if it will. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Sleep comes easier tonight. For the first time in a long time, I dream. Clear skies, of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight might not paint a pretty picture. However, this is home to me. It's the next day. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy, and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends where I'm up even before my alarm rings. So yeah, it's like, with this has like a recollection of the entire story going so far. So this was all going through. What was new on this one? Dark Times of the Black British. Bit of a sinister subject. Pictures of... So yeah, that is there. The picture of the family. That is one hell of a big family. More realty stuff. An unpleasant lunch with Zach. Blah, blah, blah. Former research. Cool. If it wasn't for Ash's call last night, I'd probably sleep in. When 9 AM rolls around, I'm already heading downstairs where Ash is waiting for me in his car. His head is a disheveled mess, eyes drowsy, and overall looking like he hurried to get out of bed. Or fell out of it. Or both. He looks adorable. It looks adorably rumpled in this way. Again, another... It's like the phrasing's what they have with each other. But I'm not going to tell him that. It'd only blow his unbearable ego.
Good morning, Ash.
And to be honest... quite high. He makes a motion with his finger around his ears, tone it down.
Can you even drive?
He answers me with a slight raise of his hand, a yawn, and nothing more. He's never been particularly fond of mornings, and for that I'm thankful to every god in the universe. Less mental capacity for him to make fun of me. Ha! There's a reason why mornings are my favourite. Doesn't take long for us to reach our destination, a small cafe situated in Luxbourne's busiest street. The same one I often visit with Becca for its cheap food. I've never gone on here on a Sunday, and it's striking how different it appears without the usual weekday and Saturday rush. The atmosphere especially reminds me of something we'd also have back home, near the university I used to attend. I wonder what happened to it. It was still being renovated before I left, so I never got to visit one last time. The place has always had a calming effect on me. But today, despite standing in a place similar to it, anxiety easily washes over me as soon as I step out of the car.